What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? My name is Jerutastic and welcome to another special episode that's surrounding Tropico 6. We're making these videos on the road to Tropico 6, and today is going to be part 3. That's correct, part 3 of 5 things that I want in Tropico 6. I've made part 1 a while back before we even got any news about Tropico 6. Then I made a part 2, and now part 3 is going to be interesting because we already kind of have an idea what's going to be included and not included in Tropico 6. But I'm going to mention the things that you guys have been mentioning to me that I want as well, and the things that I've yet have not seen in any of the confirmation up to this point. As of the recording of this video, they have not been confirmed in Tropico 6, and I do these videos as like kind of a connection between you and I to kind of see where you guys are at, to know where I'm at with this, to see what we like and what we wouldn't like from Tropico 6. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the J Army. Let's start off point number 1. My point number 1 that I really want in Tropico 6 is more model types for houses and apartments. And let's go to the empty area right here so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you click on this house, you get this type of house, and then you have a mansion, country house, apartments look like this. There you go. As far, and of course we got the modern apartment that just goes really high. So if you could take a look at this, these are the modern house, or these are your typical houses where, like, I guess like middle class live in. These are the quote unquote mansions that the rich people live in, which looks more like an abandoned hospital to me than a mansion. And you got the country houses. Okay, country houses, we can say it's okay. And over here we got the apartments, the tenements, if you will. This is where, I guess, low income people live. And you got the apartments that middle class live in that look like the projects. And then you got the really fancy apartment. Okay, now in Tropico 6, from what we've seen in the trailer so far, the country houses and the houses all look the same. If you hear my keyboard, you cannot have different models. Like, just what I mean is, if you go on a small park and go left or right, you have different models for a small park. If you go here, you have different shapes, sizes for a big park. What I want, the first thing which would make it that much more beautiful, is not necessarily a different design, but at least different colors for houses, at least different colors for apartments, at least different shapes and outlines for a country house, for this, for that. They all look the same. It makes it really not fun to look at, especially if you want to do a big housing development like the one I did in this area right here. They all look the same. Look at this. It just looks all the same, unless you added a tons of parks in between to kind of beautify it, to make it kind of stick out a little bit like I did over here. It all looks the same. Give us some more options, please. It cannot be that difficult to click a button and switch colors for a house. I'm not saying put a bunch of different models, but at least give us the options to switch the colors. The second thing I'm talking about is more Air Force / air power options for the military. One thing that was very cool in Tropico 5 is the fact that they added the aircraft carrier that, you know, you can go ahead and, you know, kind of help you in attacks. Is it the most effective? Is it the most accurate? No, it's not, but it still added such a fun element to the game that is already lacking the element of controlling your military. This game lacks it heavily. This is something we've discussed over and over again in my gameplay series and my previous 5 things I want in Tropico 6 videos, so we're not going to discuss that. But one thing we can do is add more Air Force, more air power options. What I mean by that is maybe just a simple military airstrip where you can take airplanes off of, shoot down, blah, all this stuff. Maybe different type of airplanes. Hell, maybe even a helicopter, an Apache helicopter that only shoots bullets at rebels when there's attack, when there is a military coup. And even, what I mean by options, even options that can go against you. Even the Air Force, when there is a military coup, if a certain Air Force or airfield is against you, then these aircrafts would have to be against you. You'd have to shoot him down. And even what I also mean is when other superpowers invade you, just imagine for a second if superpowers start invading you, not just by on foot, not just by on tanks, by airplanes, and your airplanes have to shut them down, or you had the ability to like build kind of like anti-air missile systems all around your island. Now just for a second, imagine how much more element of fun, of military, of involvement this would add in a game that's already heavily focused on political strategy, on invasion, rebel attacks, coup, superpower invasions. Imagine how much more fun that would have. So more Air Force / air power options for the military. Yes, please. The number 3 thing that I want in Tropico 6 is improved control over salaries and budget. What I mean by that, and this is something, by the way, a lot of you have recommended as well. So let's take a look at this cathedral, for example. You click on it, as you can see at the bottom top right here is you have the budget. Now this budget, quote unquote, supposedly handles the wages and the building budget and how much its effectiveness. So right now I have it on a 3, but the job quality is 100 just because of things in the constitution, usually it's not going to be 100 if you have it in halfway, but as you can see, effectiveness is good. However, what I mean by different control over budgets and salaries, if there was a budget and another slider, or a whole page just for budgets that says, for example, building upkeep, employee wages, manager wages. And for certain houses and apartments, since they're not always going to be in the same area, you have the option to have the overall budget of the maintenance budget and also the rent. So the budget and the rent is not going to be tied together. For example, if this area is quote unquote ghetto area in my island, how about, and people here are like mostly low income people that are not paying that much rent, I can separately control and decide what the budget and what the rent is going to be. The budget would just exclude the rent, so the budget would just focus on like building maintenance, and the rent would just focus on the rent. So that's what I mean by improved control over salary and budgets, and that's something you guys also wanted. Another example, just to give you like a circus. Okay, let's have like maybe 3 sliders, one is being ticket prices, the next one being the salaries, and the next one being is the building budget. So instead of just having one budget there, this way you can also, once again, this is a political business strategy game in a nutshell. This way you can have more options over your business strategies, and this way you can decide which area is which area makes this much money, which area makes that much money. Once again, it's all about having more control as El Presidente. The number 4 thing that I'm talking about that a lot of you ask me in all my How to Tropico videos is, hey man, I'm low on high school workers, I'm low on college workers, I have all colleges, I have all high schools, and the problem might not be you. The problem is not you, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is this game has a really bad time in integrating high schoolers into the workforce. If we look over here, for example, at this island, which I have not even seen yet, you have open jobs. Let's take a look at the open jobs. And if you can take a look at the bottom right there, a lot of these open jobs are high school and college workers. We have so many high school and college workers. If you look at any high school on my island, there's about 7 to 8 people that are currently attending. This one has 5, that one has 7, this one has 6, and the list goes on and on. But the problem is, I feel like the graduation process takes a little bit too long, and once they're graduated, it's not really as effective for them to be integrated. Some of them can be picky, and they'd rather be unemployed than work in the area that they're working in. If you look at here, there should be no reason in my unemployed area where high school people are unemployed when I have so many high school jobs open. But the integration that I'm talking about is, in real life, if somebody graduated college and haven't had a job for 6 months, would they stay not having a job, or will they take a college level job that's not exactly what they're looking for? Of course they'll jump on a job that they're not what they're looking for, because that's the only thing available at the moment. But in Tropico, it seems the integration of it, if somebody is graduated from high school or college, they'd rather be unemployed than go take a job that they don't like, or a job that doesn't have that much wages. And by the way, everywhere in this island you can see the wages are perfectly aligned, and the job quality is always higher than 70 at minimum. So this one is 90, this one is 100, 90. So we can go on and on and on. So that's what I mean by faster integration for graduates of high school and college educated workers into the job force in Tropico 6 is a must. The number 5 things that I'm talking about is a lot of you gotta be like, hey Jerutastic, they already confirmed that you can invade other islands and you can steal their artifacts. Well, I'm talking about something different. Invading other islands to steal their resources. Now, like just we were talking about the military aircraft carrier of having options, how about having like a certain building that's kind of like your SEAL Team 6 in the United States, or kind of like your MI6 in the UK, kind of this unit that goes to other islands and invade them, and once you invade them, they stay there, they try to hold it down, and next thing you know, you get money in your economy, you get, you know, really cheap discounted imports, or you get money off that island's export, the island talking about, you know, off camera, because we already know that there's not going to be other islands for other players. It's only going to be your island in the screen. So that's what I mean by invading other islands to steal their resources. Have a unit go there, occupy it, etc., so on and so forth, steal their resources, having very, like I'm talking about, up to 80-90% discount on imports that island possesses, and maybe even get free stuff just besides the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty. I'm talking about really boosting your economy. Alright guys, these are the 5 things that I want in Tropico 6. If you watch my number 1 and number 2, a lot of you folks even said number 1 looks like Calypso listened to you because I suggested bridges, and that video was about 2 years ago now. So these have been the 5 things for part 3 that I want in Tropico 6. We might be a little too late, that's why hopefully if anybody from Calypso is watching this, I did not include things that would take that much time to do. All of the things I included should be there already. Maybe the military aircraft options, or the air power or air military options, maybe that takes some time, but the rest, like the houses, like the integration of college students, it should not be that difficult to align, and hopefully they listen to us. So with that being said guys, make sure Calypso listens to us, share this video, comment what else you want to see in Tropico 6, or ask me any questions. If you have any questions about how I get successful islands on high difficulty when it comes to economy and politics, make sure you check out my How To Tropico 5 series and my Tropico 5 gameplay series as well. And if you are new to the channel, hello, my name is Jerutastic. Hit that subscribe button and join the J Army. And if you want to connect some more, make sure you go ahead and join my Discord. The link is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it that big like button. I will see you guys in the next one. My name is Jerutastic, and I am out.